Hi, welcome to Markie's World. I'm your host, Markie Shinn, and who we have here with us is Mathell Givens. She's very important. I want everybody to be able to understand why I feel that she's one of the most special women out here, like in the world. You have so many awards, and look at you looking so beautiful.
Thank you.
Anyway, Mathell, I did a lot of research on you. And you don't know about this. You know, I look at all of this stuff that I have over here. Yeah, I got all this stuff over here that I want to talk to everybody about. You have done so much, and you're an inspiration to all the other women. So this is what I want to do. I want to ask you some questions about all these things that I have here. I compilated all of this over the internet. I've talked to your godmother, who is so wonderful. She had given me a lot of things so I can use all this. So this is what we're going to do. Now, first of all, I want to introduce Mathell as she really is. She's a woman of so many different talents. She's also an author of Angels in My Life, which turned into a play, which also is getting ready to become a blockbuster movie.
Woo!
Is that right?
I'm looking forward to it.
That is right.
That's a prayer.
So listen here. You don't know that I have this here too.
Oh my God! You got my trophy.
No, you don't even know. You don't even know about
my
this.
mom had to give that to you.
She did. I asked her for everything. And tell me a little something about this.
Oh my goodness!
Tell me about that.
So dear to me. I won this trophy in 1966 at Graves School. That was an elementary school that I attended. I was 14 years young.
Well, what were you doing?
I was the most talented girl. Oh. I was in all the plays. I was in the girls' glee club, a cappella choir. I was just all the ways around trying to be in the movies. And I won this trophy. There was many people that won this trophy, but I was the last to win it in 1966. And this is a type of trophy that I would like to present one day when I've had my movie. I would love to present a trophy to a young lady or a young man that's been in the arts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
so, oh my God, this is so dear to me.
You haven't seen this in a long time,
no, my mom, I was wondering where it was. She must have taken it and had hid it out for you.
Girl, yes, she did. I asked her to put all this stuff aside.
Oh my goodness.
Now listen. So this is what I want to do. I want to take everybody from the beginning to present, and then we'll go on into the future, because I know you have so many plans for the future. Now, tell me, how did you even surface into this world as who Mathell Givens is? How did you know that you were going to become a radio personality? Just tell me. Let's go back into some of your history.
Well, I want to say when I really got out here and started working around radio personalities, Emily McKendall was my idol. She was a good friend of mine. She's from WVON. And I just remember she saying to me, "Girl, you need to go to school." And I said, "You know what? I'm going to go to school." She said, "You hanging out around I was down at the Taste with them, and they'd be in that booth just talking radio talk, and it became a dream of mine. So I went over to Columbia School of Broadcasting, and I enrolled myself.
Oh, wow.
And I decided I was going into the business. As you see, from a little girl, I was already being prepped, but I didn't know it. So that was one of my starts.
That was the beginning, pushing you in that arts and entertainment department. Right?
That's true. Yeah. And then I started in the fashion world.
Oh yeah, okay, tell me about
that. I started in the fashion world. I was selling clothes. My dad was in the business. And I was going around selling clothes for him. And then next thing I knew, I met a young lady named Bobby Ross, which she and we met over 35 years ago, and she became a great sister of mine, and she was a designer.
Oh, okay.
And I said, hey, I'm going to start having these cruises on the Spirit of Chicago.
Oh, wow.
At that time, the Chicago Star was there. They went out, the Spirit came in, and the Odyssey came in. And I said, you know what, I'm going to throw a big party.
I remember the Odyssey.
I took out the whole boat.
Oh, wow.
And I had my sister Bobby Ross to go forward and design up a lot of clothes, and I would wear all of her fashions.
Oh.
And hey, we would step into it, and we had all these limos. See, I always believed in networking.
Network is very important.
Oh my God, and I was networking out here with all the limousine guys. They wanted me to promote them. And then, so therefore, I didn't have to pay for any limousines. Check it out,
and you know what? That's a good one.
I didn't have to pay for any limousines, didn't have to pay for clothes because I was in the business. So that was one of my great stars. And the first night I took out the Spirit of Chicago, I outsold the ship. I took out 600 people. 600 people. I filled the whole boat. And I did it for 14 years.
Oh my gosh. So I probably was on one of
You probably was
That's
one.
something
And
else.
you know what I would do? I would get with organizations that was looking to make money to raise for their organization. I would tie them into me, and that's how I would sell it out.
And this is how you become an entrepreneur.
All right.
So, and now tell me about this right here. Do you remember what this is all about?
Yes, this is from the Lawyers of Creative Arts. Marcie Walker is the director, downtown Chicago. When I first was going to write my book, I started off with DePaul Law School. A friend of mine was at DePaul, and she told them about me. And they said, you know what, I like that story. And at first, all I thought my story was A Miracle on Flight 1483.
Oh, that's about the baby.
That's about the baby on the flight. And
That's in the book. That's in the book.
That's in my book, Angels in My Life. So I said, I'm going to go down and show them what I've written. And they were interested in knowing more about my story. And so after that, they said, you know what, we're going to connect you to the Lawyers of Creative Arts. And sure enough, that's Marcie Walker, the director. She then connected me to Foley.com. Those are big lawyers, and they took me up and represented me pro bono. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
To get free legal
Yeah, that's something else.
for my book. So
So
now that means that when I'm writing about Spike Lee in my book, they'll tell me what I can't write. Because if I didn't have legal, then I would have written perhaps something that would have gotten me in trouble.
yeah, and
So-
I know that you've met a lot of famous celebrities.
I
You
did,
know a lot
I
of them.
have. Well, I am what they call a success story from the Lawyers of Creative Arts. And on page 21 of this, they have me featured in here. I am one of their success stories.
Wow.
And I am most honored. I give all praises and honor to God for steering my life towards the right way in order to get the message out correctly. So this is how I came about getting into this magazine.
See, and that shows a whole lot about you and your personality because you draw nothing but positivity.
Oh, thank you. God bless.
Okay, now let's go on to something else. Women of Excellence.
Ooh, man, this was one of the blessed moments of my life to be one of the women of excellence for the Chicago Defender. In 2012, there were 51 women chosen out of thousands, and I happened to be one of them.